Let's cross over to Washington, joined by author and historian, Mr. Webster Griffin Tarpley. Thank you so much for being with us. Well, more accusations, again, talking about the use of chlorine, again, not really saying who is responsible. Is it that the OPCW is unable to determine who is responsible for this, or is there something else behind it all?
Well, the media coverage on this event is largely based on a wire by the Associated Press, dateline the United Nations. And in this article by the Associated Press, we read that the OPCW found that some kind of poison gas, chlorine gas, had been used, but did not apportion blame. So there's no specification who did it. They do add, though, that some people heard the sound of a helicopter. Now, this has been immediately seized upon by the warmonger press here in the West, and I'll just give you 3 examples. The same Associated Press wire that says explicitly no blame was assigned, the London Guardian gets out of that a headline saying Syria used chlorine gas in attacks, say chemical weapons experts. A second one, Al Jazeera, not to be left behind. Report reaffirms Syria chemical weapons use. And then here for the U.S. public, Yahoo News, Syria used chlorine gas in attacks, says OPCW. So this is already a big lie campaign of a fairly large magnitude. I mean, simple, blatant lying. The idea being that the reader is so stupid that you read the headline and you don't bother to read the article. Now, my personal guess here is that there's a hand behind this. And the person here in Washington, or the faction or clique that has been pushing most to start bombing Assad and the Assad government in Syria, this is General John Allen. He is the ISIS czar of the Obama administration. And his line basically is shift all resources away from whatever they're doing now and bomb Assad. So this is a very dangerous group.
Well, Mr. Tarpley, we don't have a whole lot of time, but basically, what is the significance of a report like this? Obviously, everyone in the world knew that something had been used, whether it was chlorine or something else. It was obviously obvious from seeing, unfortunately, the people who had been killed. So basically, I guess the question would be, so what? That it has been used, no blame is basically being, there's no fingers being pointed by the OPCW as to who has used it. So what good does it all do, except, as you sang, you were talking about the Western media right now and how they're going with it and blaming the Syrian government. In the meantime, 4 years almost has been going on that the Syrian people are continuing to suffer. Where should the Syrian people go, basically, to try to get justice, that this type of act would be punished?
Well, if you're in Syria, you should probably either support the legal government of the country, which is Assad, or if you want to be in the opposition, you can be in the opposition in the Syrian parliament. There's an opposition party which is represented and could be more represented. But the obvious fact is that anybody who's in the armed opposition is in effect carrying on terrorism. Now, we should remember in August, September of 2013, the Ghouta event, which was hysteria launched by the U.S. and the British, almost brought the world to a war. And then it turned out that this had not been done by Syria. And I'm referring to the Seymour Hersh essays, 2 authoritative essays in the London Review of Books, which showed that this huge propaganda stunt of September 2013, that again almost started a general war in the Middle East, had been concocted. And the U.S. knew it was a lie, and they did it anyway. Right now, Samantha Power in this UN meeting is yammering about only the Syrian regime has helicopters. She regards the helicopters as the key to the thing. Well, they could have been Turkish helicopters. They could have been ISIS helicopters. We don't know who might have a helicopter for use in such an event.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us out of
Thank
Washington.
you.
Author and historian, Mr. Webster Tarpley.